Welcome to the Glitz Pit new player tier list. What this is basically from like June 2023 until now. This is not the server's opinion, okay? I am sure people will disagree with me on probably a few of these, maybe. Some will agree, some will disagree, but this is my opinion. As one of the best challenge runners, this is what I think of all of these players, based on what I have seen and based on what they've completed, all that kind of stuff. And again, these are new players. These are players who are new to the game. They have only been around since June 2023, basically. Or at least they were around in the community, but they didn't start challenge running until at least June 2023. Okay, let's go over the tiers, okay? I want to go over these tiers because these tiers are pretty important. You notice there's no D, E, or F. I don't think anyone on this list is worse than C. S tier is reserved for players that I think that if they keep playing and they keep improving, they will be in that sphere of players where people like me, Coop, and Justice reside. Like this could be the new generation of GOATs. A tier are just really good players. They've done some really good stuff. They're really solid. I think A tier players have the potential to become S tier players if they keep at it. B tier is an above average player. I would say this is a new player who's done some stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm kind of impressed. Like they're doing some good stuff. Or I see like sparks of, for lack of a better word, greatness. You know, they're solid players. C tier is kind of you're a good player. You're in that zone where you've kind of just started. You're doing things that I would see a beginner challenge runner who's starting to like get to that B tier rating. They haven't done anything that's like wowed me personally. They're not bad. C tier is also for people who I couldn't watch. I may make a not enough info tier. Okay, I'm gonna make one. I'm just gonna call it not enough info. You're not a bad player if you get put into C or not enough info. I'm just here to give you guys my honest opinion. Let's get started, shall we? All right, we got Silver Roxas first. Now, Silver Roxas, I feel like basically kind of just came in kind of when the remake came out, honestly. On his profile, I only have pre-Hooktail Pit of 100 Trials, and he speedruns pre-Hooktail Pit. That's like one of his things. He likes to speedrun it. There's no like official difficulty for it, but I would say that speedrunning the pit is a little bit harder than like a vanilla pre-Hooktail Pit. And I actually got the chance to commentate one of his runs at a marathon that he played at. And honestly, he played pretty well. He was really solid. He actually got a perfect bone tail, which was super impressive because it had been like, I don't even know, it had been a month, maybe a month and a half or 2 months since the remake was released. A perfect bone tail? Like, I feel like a lot of players are struggling with bone tail's breaths, especially the ice one. So to be able to get a perfect one is pretty dope. However, he's only done pre-Hooktail Pit, and that's like his thing. So like, it's impressive, but it's not enough for me to be like, damn, this guy is like tearing through challenge runs, right? He did impossible mode, but stopped at Grotus. That's still pretty good, but he didn't finish. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, his super guarding is solid. His game sense, at least when it comes to a pre-Hooktail Pit, is good. He's very good at getting back into peril. Obviously, you have to be a speedrunner because you need to know all the best and fastest routes to get back into peril. I think he's B tier. I would say definitely above average. Dark Koopatrol has displayed an impressive amount of player skill in the time that he's been challenge running. Not only is he really good at optimizing low level strategies, he does for some of the things that people have submitted for the custom difficulty challenge, he's just done them. He just does the challenge. And some of them are kind of tough. He completed, when level 1 pre-Hooktail Pit became a thing, he completed it on GameCube. He was the first to do it on GameCube. I mean, he's done a whole suite of things. No super guards pre-Hooktail Pit, even turn, no super guards, 10 HP prologue pit. He just recently did pre-SP Pit. The credentials are there. So I gotta say, there's nowhere else I think I can put Dark Koopatrol given what he's completed and the way I can see him strategize, you see shades of Coop in the way he strategizes. And even Coop has mentioned it on the strategy contest that Dark Koopatrol is very similar to how like he approaches things. I don't think there's anywhere else to put him but us. I think Dark Koopatrol is one of those players where if he keeps going, he'll be right up there, man. He's really fucking good. Praisethecarpainter, as far as I know, has only done Impossible Mode on Switch. And he also has done Impossible Mode Pit on Switch. He hasn't completed it because he's trying to do it without continues. To complete Impossible Mode is impressive in and of itself. Just as a base. However, it took him a lot of resets. 806. What I've seen is pretty good, but I need to see more, I think. I'd love to see like an early pit run or something like that to show like a broader suite of his skill set. As it stands, because of the amount of resets for Impossible Mode and the lack of other challenges to give me more context, Praisethecarpainter is going into C tier. You can brute force your way through Impossible Mode, so I need to see what he does now after. He definitely has potential, though. He's a high C. He has potential to make it to B tier for sure. Cocodeey. From what I'm looking at, Cocodeey has not done too much. A pre-hooktail pit and level 1 all bosses. I think what I see from Cocodeey is what I would see from a lot of players who have started out, especially if like pre-hooktail pit is one of your first. There's a learning curve there. As far as level 1 all bosses, not a lot of pre-planned, and if there was some pre-planning, some of it involved like RNG and stuff, like using shrink or sleep or stop, but his adaptability in those situations during level 1 was honestly pretty good. He's a pretty solid player. It feels like he's still in that starting out phase of challenge running. Right now, we're gonna slap him into C tier. Curty. I'd say Curty has made kind of a splash onto the scene. He's the only one who's really tried to like simulate what's possible on the GameCube on Switch, because he's only done stuff on the Switch. He's done some good stuff. The third to complete level 1 pre-hooktail pit, 10 HP pre-hooktail pit, no Mega Rush P, pre-hooktail pit, no super guards. He did a 10 HP prologue resources only, which was a simulation of 10 HP prologue pit. I think Curty is a really solid player, and he's honestly, despite like, you know, he's got only a few, not like a ton of clears for challenges, but I mean, the credentials are there for a great player. I think my biggest issue is that Curty does a lot of extra prep for most of the challenges that he's completed. Whereas other players who are doing things, I'm seeing less prep to complete these challenges. Every time he loses, he is able to take that knowledge and make later attempts like farther and farther until he eventually just wins, which is good. That's a good skill to have. To be able to learn something from your losses, that's something every player at the higher tiers and above should have. I think ultimately the amount of prep keeps him out of A tier for now, but he is at the tippity top of B tier. Oh my god. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Curty. You're actually supposed to be an A tier. Star. Okay. Star has done pre-hooktail pit because I asked him. He doesn't have a profile, by the way, because he has never officially submitted anything. Star is the first in our not enough info tier. I just don't know enough. I'm sure he's not, like, he completed pre-hooktail pit, so he's not bad, but I just don't have enough info to truly put him into C tier. And there's no footage, so I can't even see how he plays. I think even if he only done pre-hooktail pit and I saw footage, I could place him. Astronotter kind of came around the time Bringle did. Like a little after, I feel like. He's done prologue pit. He's done Mario Alone and the pit. And he was the first to do insane mode. His strategies are, I mean, I wouldn't say they're elegant, but like from what I've seen, they're pretty solid. Like he has a good game plan going in. It's just like, it's not like he's writing down every turn. He's pretty good. I like what I've seen. If he commits to like doing some really tough stuff and like succeeds, I could see him in A tier, but as it stands, I'm putting him in B tier. It is time for Angel. Angel's got a pretty, I would say a pretty impressive suite of completions. He did a bunch of stuff on GameCube before the remake dropped, like 10 HP Prologue Pit. He did level -1 plus the pit. That's really good, by the way. And then when the remake dropped, he was the first to complete level 1 pre-hooktail pit on Switch, which I think is quite impressive because being the first to complete something means you're the one setting the tone for what prep is required, what strategies you should be employing, what's the game plan. Like, he's done some pretty impressive stuff. So he's got credentials. His sweet treats are on point. I think Angel is the best sweet treater of all the players in this list. He's got great game sense. He is really good at super guards. The only thing that Angel struggles with super guards is if he's doing really good with the super guard and then starts missing, he has difficulty bringing that consistency back in the heat of the moment. If he loses a close attempt to something, generally speaking, he just smashes it next time he does it because he knows exactly what needs to be done. And for the most part, unless some dumb shit happens, he commits to it. He has been doing well in the strategy contest too. You can tell that he knows what he's doing and he knows how to strategize effectively. And so with all of that said, I think that Angel is the second S tier to be on this list. I think if Angel keeps playing, he will be up there with everybody else. Vlad. Okay, Vlad is going into not enough info. I literally don't know what Vlad has done. I actually reached out to Vlad, but I didn't get an answer. So I have no idea what he's done. Incorrectlyr. Incorrectlyr has done only crystal tier challenges, and he's done 3 of them. Level 1 Prologue Pit, Pre-SP Pit, and 10 HP Prologue Pit. You might be thinking, damn, that's S tier right there. But he used Super Jump and got the Ultra Hammer for all of them. Every single one. Which really drags the difficulty down. Clearly he's good, right? You can't, even with the Ultra Hammer, it's not like you can just stroll up and beat level 1 Prologue, you know? There's still something there. While his resume is kind of insane for just 3 challenges completed, I can't put him anywhere else but B tier. It seems wild to put someone in B who's done level 1 Prologue Pit, but with with Ultra Hammer, me personally, my opinion, I just can't put him any higher. We have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Bringle. Looking on paper at Bringle's resume, it's not insane, but something that I think Bringle is really good at is his game sense, and I really got a sense for it when I raced him. His super guarding is actually pretty good. He's actually quite consistent on quite a few super guards, and if he's in the zone, he's up there in terms of super guarding. As far as strategy, he's not pre-platting it. He's not doing crazy turn stuff or anything, but he's got kind of Astronotter. I feel like he's got some really solid game plans going into stuff. He's a really solid player. I think Bringle needs a crystal tier. He needs a crystal tier challenge under his belt to get to A. And he needs to do it without Ultra Hammer. So if he can do 10 HP Prologue Pit without Ultra Hammer, I think he's an easy slot in for A to prove that he's there. Because I think he definitely has the potential to be there, but I need to see it. He needs to cross that line. So we're going to put him top of B. We've got Bluedelta next. And unfortunately, I just don't have enough here for Bluedelta. I'm putting him in the middle because Bluedelta told me he has done BP only. Unfortunately, there's just not enough info. Tracey. Tracey has done quite a few things in Paper Mario, but nothing higher tier than Ruby. But she has done a bunch of stuff, and she did pretty well in the 64 strategy contest. She definitely had some good strategies. She's done FP only for Paper Mario, which how? I think I need to see more from Tracey. I just need to see more completions, more higher tiered completions. I think she's good. It's tough to comment on her execution though, because she just hasn't done anything in T2ID for execution. Execution in Paper Mario 64 is not crazy. She's definitely good at guarding. So I'm putting her bottom of B. I was going between C and B, but I think given her performance in the strategy contest and some other things I've seen, and just her general game sense and knowledge of 64, I think bottom of B is best. That is it, everybody. That is your new player tier list. Now, this is all ordered, by the way. This is my opinion. This is not indicative of how the Glitz Pit as a server and as a community feels about these players. Overall, I want to say I am excited to see where these new players go if they continue to push themselves, because I think all of these players, even the ones in not enough info, all of these players have the chance to make it to A if they apply themselves and continue challenge running. I hope they do. I hope there's more people who continue to challenge run. I want to see more challenge runners. I want to see more people do all the things. I hope to see more people challenge run. That's all I want.